Mother, tell your children not to walk my way. Tell your children.
Hello, and this is Truthslayer, and welcome to another question and answer video with me, of course. If you have any questions or anything you'd like me to comment on the world of professional wrestling, please send it my way, and I will be more than happy to answer it as best I can. All I ask you, try to limit it to one question per person, please, and try to make them good, and we'll see what we can do. So let's get started. Hey, Truthslayer, since these seem to be your favorite promotions from each of the decades, I was wondering which promotion you like best out of World-Class Championship Wrestling, Extreme Championship Wrestling, and Ring of Honor. Actually, if you're going to go back to the 80s, WWF would be my favorite. In the 80s, well, it kind of I liked WWF, and then I liked WCW or NWA at the time, and then I liked WWF again. Then I stopped watching, and then I started watching ECW, and then I got into All Japan, and then I got into Ring of Honor. But out of the ones you listed, I would probably go with Ring of Honor to be completely, well, yeah, I'll go with the Ring of Honor. Actually, has been the best. You know, I really enjoyed it out of the three that you listed. So there we go. Okay, this may be a hard one to ask you. From all the time you have been watching wrestling up until now, what wrestler or wrestlers have had the most 5-star matches you've seen? Out of question. This is actually a very easy question. It is Matsuhira Misawa. He wrestled in All Japan. Now he runs Pro Wrestling Noah. He is called the king of the 5-star match because he has had far more than anybody ever. Some of them are tag matches, but he's been involved in more than anybody. Getting up there in years, not what he once was, of course, now, but in his day was just an amazing wrestler. So there you go. Do you feel Joe will leave TNA, and if so, do you think he will go ROH or WWE? I hope he leaves TNA, I really do, and to be honest, I'd love for him to go back to Ring of Honor, but if he doesn't want to, if he just wants to go to WWE, I wouldn't blame him there either, because to be completely honest, and a lot of people say you're a complete idiot saying this, but I completely believe it, him being the cousin of Umaga would be better than what I see them doing with him now, because they're just making him look like a joke, in my opinion, and particularly since, in my opinion, he helped put that company where it is, and now, you know, but that's just me. I have a lot of strong feelings about that. Hey, Truthslayer, I'm just wanting to know, according to you, who is the greatest wrestler of all time, putting in ring ability, skills, and overall influence in the business? I would probably say, man, overall influence in the business. Well, for that, I'd probably say Antonio Inoki, because he's probably had the most, even though Luthez, you know, would probably be as far as in-ring ability, but his influence on the business probably hasn't been that major. So I would probably say Antonio Inoki, with Ric Flair probably a strong second. Truthslayer, why do you think ROH would have to make changes to the product if they got a TV deal? Basically, I don't think they have to make a bunch of products. I think they would just have to go put on shorter matches. Ring of Honor puts on a lot of long matches, so they probably just have to put on shorter matches, which they do normally anyways. They probably have to, you know, go from the 15 to 20 minute matches they normally put on to probably 10 to 15 minute matches for television, and then maybe do, you know, like a 20-minute match main event. So it wouldn't be that much, but it'd just be and they'd of course have to rely a bit more on angles than they do now, but I have faith in them on that front as well. I know you said that ROH has turned down a TV deal, but don't you think a TV deal similar to what ECW had back in the late 90s would benefit them? I know that they have DVDs, but I have a lot of fans who are not willing to buy a DVD of a promotion they're not similar with, given that my late night TV deal would give fans a reason to come to shows and buy DVDs. I agree with this. The only problem is that it's not cost effective for Ring of Honor to put on a TV deal that have a TV deal like ECW did, where basically they're coming out of pocket to put on the TV deal. So that's why they don't have a TV deal like that, because they're making a good amount of money just doing what they're doing now, and they only want a TV deal that will be good for them. So there's the answer to that. Did you hear about the TNA Impact boycott for tomorrow? A lot of people, including TNA fans, are boycotting the product until there is a change. Spread the word. I believe I just did. I had not heard about that. Good idea. I don't usually watch Impact myself anyways, so I will be shocked if their ratings aren't down after the pay-per-view anyways. So, are you excited to hear that Fire Pro Wrestling Returns is coming to the U.S.? Hell yes. For those of you that have never played a Fire Pro game, it's coming to the PlayStation 2. They are awesome. It makes, you can pretty much do whatever you want in those games as far as customization of wrestlers, so you can pretty much put any wrestler you want. It comes with a wide variety of wrestlers already, so there you go. Would you say that Joe should leave TNA? Do you think he would be better in the WWE if he got an Umaga type push that would at least be better than getting buried like he is in TNA, right? I would agree with that. I don't think he's necessarily getting buried. I just don't think he's getting buried in a main event type way, because even if he wins the championship, he's not going to look like a credible champion. So, I would rather him go to the WWE and be a mid-carder than how he's being used now. I'm a huge pro wrestling fan, and it really disappoints me to see how poor the state of it is in Japan. Maybe not in terms of wrestling, but in attendance, etc. Do you think wrestling will ever get back to the level it once was? And how do you think it will just be a matter of time until it recovers? Not necessarily. I think they're going to have to do a lot of things differently. It's going to help them that Pride went under, without a doubt. But I also think they're going to have to change the way they've been wrestling. I think they're going to have to go, do a little. They're just going to have to change the way they've done things. And if you look at the promotions that have been successful, it's the ones that have kind of changed the way they've done things, made some things a little bit more entertainment. You can see it getting bigger. It's just going to take a while, because the bottom literally just fell out of Japanese pro wrestling. So, hey. Hey, Truthslayer, why has The Rock never returned to wrestling, and do you ever think he will? No, he won't, and the reason is because he can make just as much money on one movie as he can probably wrestling an entire year for the WWE, so there you go. I was wondering if you knew why the WWE censors the word WWF in their home videos if they show older stuff that have the F censored out, and they censor when they say WWF. The reason being is because they lost a lawsuit to the World Wildlife Foundation, which actually owns the copyright name WWF, so that is why. And so they are not allowed to use that anymore. WWE's women's division is pretty crappy right now. If WWE hires out of ROH, why won't it hire its divas out of Shimmer? Do you think they will ever do this? And if so, who would you like to see them to hire? They already did that with one person, and that was Beth Phoenix. I definitely think they should. Chili or Melissa. Mischief as well. There's lots of women in Shimmer that I think they could bring in, and particularly if they brought them in for the whole purpose of they are women wrestlers and they're sick of the divas, kind of an anti-diva type thing. I really think that would work well. Hey, Truthslayer, I was wondering, when all is said and done, do you believe John Cena will be an all-time great, like in the class of Hulk Hogan's, Ric Flair's, Austin's, and Rock's? I would really like to know your opinion on this. At the moment, I will say no, but you never know what will happen, so I would say no at the moment, but he might go on a run where he might be considered with those guys. What do you think of ROH's Pure Championship? When I saw the match between McGuinness and Danielson in Liverpool, I was kind of upset to see the belt go. In my opinion, it was a nice wrinkle that ROH added, and another good way to develop your stars. I agree. I like the belt as well. I thought it was a mistake to get rid of it, because I thought it was a good secondary belt in that it was different from any other belt that they had due to the special rules with it. So I do agree that the Pure Championship was a good idea, and that shouldn't have been done away with. This is not trying to spread misinformation, but I read on a couple of different wrestling sites that Lesnar is in heated talks with TNA about coming back full time. My question is, how would you book if you had the pull to do in TNA's main event scene with Angle, Joe, Lesnar, and Cage? Problem is there's more guys than Angle, Lesnar, and Cage, and my problem with Lesnar is the rumor is that he's not going to wrestle full time. He's still going to do MMA, and they're also apparently going to offer him 6 figures, more than 6 figures. He's going to be one of the highest paid, maybe 7 figures. And I just don't, I don't agree with bringing in Lesnar. I think there's better guys they can bring in, particularly Chris Jericho. I know Chris Jericho said he wouldn't go, but man, you throw enough money Chris Jericho away, he would go. But hey, Lesnar's Lesnar, so maybe it would work. I don't know. But anyways, I'm out, so have a good day.